epic between the Portland Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets. We will hear from folks on both sides, including the two coaches, Casey Stern, the Hall of Famer, Isaiah Thomas, Hall of Famer in my mind, Brendan Haywood, leading shot blocker in the history of the Tar Heels as well. Any other notes we want to get out there? No, not about you.
We good.
It's all good in the hood and also with Rodney, because let me tell you something. When he got out there, you want to get fresh legs, and we saw the freshness, if you will, and the jump in Will Barton's game carry Denver offensively, defensive plays, extra possessions. And then all of a sudden, Portland was sitting there. Who else is going to help CJ and Dame? Cantor, you could tell, struggling physically. Aminu's shot wasn't working. And all of a sudden, here comes Rodney Hood. End up with 19 points. He really was the story in the fourth overtime.
He really was. And they kept finding a way to use him and get him isolated on Murray, who was the weak defender tonight. And every time that Hood was matched up against Murray, not only did he score, but he came through big in crucial times of the game when Lillard or McCollum was covered and guarded closely.
It is good that we saw in that last play, Brendan, that it was, and I didn't even realize that until the second time we saw that it was CJ who intercepts that pass. Because we had said in pregame, he's going to have one of these games in this series where he's even better than Dame. We know he can get off and just go crazy. But the play that he made after taking a shot that he missed to go beat out Torrey Craig, Jokic, and Millsap to get a board to hit Hood on the three was probably the biggest play of the entire game. And it wasn't one of his shots. He missed it, but it was that effort, which you saw on that play as well. He was literally everywhere defensively. The boards, he had 8 rebounds. He was fantastic tonight.
Well, and that's what greatness is all about. It's not just about scoring. It's about doing other things. It's about making winning plays, and that is a winning play. A winning play doesn't always have to be a shot. It doesn't always have to be a big-time block. But right there, you saw the rebound, an extra possession, then had to have the presence of mind to kick it out to Rodney Hood, who stepped it up, hit a big-time three. What'd you say? It was all good in the Hood tonight.
Yeah, and look, I'll tell you
and
what.
You know, that was the second time that CJ has made a play like that. Game 2 in Denver. Remember, he gets the offensive rebound, dribbles it out, knocks down the three. Tonight, he gets the offensive rebound.
Here it is.
Kicks it back out.
This is the biggest play of the game right here. Watch this.
He's not ball watching.
I mean, that's just, and first of all, and a nice, rather than going right into the shot, good patience there by Hood, too, with Barton flying in.
Yeah, the shot fake, one of the best plays in basketball. Good patience. Players practice this every single day. Shot fake, let the defender fly by, improve your position, knock it down, good ball rotation, follow through, wave goodbye to your ball, knock down the three.
Shooter's paradise, as 3D would say.
Look, every sport can be cruel at times in how games end. The part of this that was difficult, as you see kind of the end and the finish here, this is where I was going. Jokic he averaged 31 some odd minutes, I think, during the year, 65 minutes. And we all sat here, there's no way he's going to make 2. Ends up missing the first, gets the second, and then goes off the floor. I mean, he really gave him as much as they could physically. Zeke, at one point, nobody else on the team had played more than 40 minutes, and he was already well over 50. But he's going to be sitting there, as I'm sure we're going to hear after the game, kicking himself for not hitting those free throws.
I mean, even though he missed the free throw, I mean, he's had one of the greatest playoff performances tonight, that will go down, as in history. I mean, he ends up with 33 points, 18 rebounds, and 14 assists for another triple-double. I mean, you can't ask him to do any more than that. And the fact that he was able to still stand, and not only was he their top offensive player, but defensively, every time he was involved in some type of screening role, he had to, step up and defend the guards and everything else. So, I mean, he just played a fantastic game. I thought a crucial play in the overtime when Murray dribbled the basketball to the sideline. And
right out of bounds almost.
Yeah, almost out of bounds.
Yeah.
And as a guard, you're taught. You never dribble to the sideline. You always want to stay in the middle of the floor to give yourself some room. He dribbles right to the sideline, turns his back, and you're taught to keep your butt in the corner, so to speak, so you can always see the floor. He's got his back turned. He can't see what's in front of him. I mean, just a terrible position for him to be in, and he ends up turning the ball over on the sideline.
It's hard to nitpick, right? There's a lot that goes on. But But we always talk about the lack of a point guard for Denver behind the scenes. It is a very big discussion. Jamal knows it is, because if you go back to after game one, in the press conference, somebody asked him about playing the point. He said, and he stopped the reporter and said, "I've always been a point guard." He's tired of hearing about it. But here's what I would bring up, because there were 2 plays to close 2 overtimes in which there was no execution. You had 7 seconds left, it's out of a timeout, and you get no real good shot. Paul Millsap in this game was 8 of 13 with 17 points. I would argue at least 10 of them were 5 of the biggest makes from the floor that Denver B. Wood had the whole game. He hit probably the 3 biggest shots in the overtimes for that team. We know how he is on the block. He's got mismatches. I was surprised on any of those plays. How do you not? I understand you could dribble and hit a deep 3. You didn't need one. Why not go to Millsap, who was really effective every time they got him the ball offensively in those overtimes?
Well, I think that's something that they're going to look at. When they look at on film, they're going to say, we missed a great opportunity. When we did go to Paul in the post, he had a height and size advantage, and the way he knows how to play down there. Like, Paul Millsap knows what to do in those situations. They probably should have went back to him some more. You saw the miscommunication on the play where Murray gets stuck with the ball and ends up taking a contested, 37-footer that banked off the glass. And that is the difference between younger teams and an older seasoned team in the playoff. Yeah. It's about getting quality possessions under duress.
Yes.
Like, okay, the crowd's going crazy. You're on the road, but you have to understand, where do we want the ball to go? Who has the mismatch? Identify that, and then play off of that spot very, very well. Even that last play where Jokic got fouled, and that was the right play, Jamal Murray was trying to clear him out. The Joker was like, no. Joker was like, listen, I saw your last shot. Yeah. I won't give you a chance to take another one. Give me the ball because I have a mismatch. And that's part of growth. Yeah. That's part of growth. This young Denver team, some of these young guys in the backcourt and the young guys that don't have the playoff experience, they're growing up, and it's good to see it. But sometimes you're going to take your lumps while you're trying to learn.
I want to say this quickly, and we're going to hear from C.J. McCollum in a second, but you talk about growing up. I love, forget redemption, just stories of growth. Enes Kanter, there were conversations at the beginning of the year about, like, the tweets about LeBron and stuff back and forth, and then the thing in New York and the thing over. There were points in this game, there's a point in overtime where literally he can't shoot. He grabs his back and drops the ball. He was in a ton of pain. You saw they showed on the bench, Dame was trying to literally go like this to him to go back out on the floor, and he couldn't even, like, he was in that 18 points, 15 boards, was all over the place. Yeah. He has really, to me, and he's a free agent after the year, I think earned a lot of respect,
how does
right?
He even, like, they got no idea how he's playing. They got a game in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like, how does Kanter even get ready to play for that next game? That has to be something that Portland is worried about also.
And to me, every time I've watched Kanter play, even though he's had some difficulties, maybe at OKC, maybe in New York, I've never doubted his competitiveness as a player. Every time he stepped out on the floor, he was willing to compete and wanted to compete. Yeah. And he may not always play well, but you never doubt if this guy is a competitor and wants to win the basketball game. And I thought he was a true inspiration for the Trailblazers tonight.
He played, Zeke, 56 minutes.